Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, and today we're going to be talking about a 3-month pregnant woman from Washington who went missing on August 25th, 2020. She was supposed to go to her very first sonogram the next day, and family reports that she was very excited about her pregnancy. She never made it, though, to that sonogram appointment. She has vanished and is now nowhere to be found. But before I get into it, if you'd like to be part of the It's a Crime community, please click that subscribe button below. Make sure you hit that bell to all notifications so you could be notified. Give it a like and also share this out where you can so we can find her. Now, let's get into it. Kassanndra Cantrell is a 33-year-old woman from Parkland, Washington. She went missing on Tuesday, August 25th, 2020 and was last seen at 8:30 a.m. Now, it's unusual for her not to contact her family or return home. Her mom, Marie Smith, says this is not normal. She wouldn't just vanish. And also a spokesman for the Pierce County Sheriff's Office says this is way out of character for her, so we're worried. And here is the area where Kassanndra lives. The red dot is the area of her home. Kassanndra is 5'7" tall and weighs 180 pounds. It's reported, like I mentioned, she is 3 months pregnant. Now, it was an unexpected pregnancy, but the family did say that she is excited about it, and she had that appointment the next day on Wednesday, August 26th for her first ultrasound to find out if she was actually having twins or not. And she is a twin. And her best friend was supposed to meet her there for that appointment. Now, her mother, Marie, says she wouldn't have missed it for the world. It doesn't make any sense for her to be gone at all. Kassandra's friend said that she may have gone for groceries that Tuesday morning, but authorities said that they haven't found any financial transactions indicating that she did. And her mom says everything seemed to indicate she was going to see somebody, because if she was going to the grocery store, she would have just put her hair in a ponytail and put on some jeans and headed out. But it was clear she'd taken a shower and gotten dressed. She had taken some extra time. She doesn't do that just to go grocery shopping. So then, just before 1 p.m. on that Tuesday, Kassandra's cell phone actually pinged off of the South Vashon Tower or Vashon Tower. You let me know how it's pronounced. Let me know in the comments below. And her cell phone did ping off that tower before it was either turned off or it died. And police said that the most logical location of the phone based off the ping would be at Point Defiance Park. But according to her mom, she doesn't believe that Kassanndra ever went to the park. She says that Kassanndra would occasionally go to the park to walk her two chihuahuas, but she left the dogs at home. And here's a map from her home to this park. So that Tuesday morning, she was actually seen on the Neighbor's Ring video leaving her Parkland home in her 2014 Mazda 3 sedan. And her car was actually found parked 3 days later by the authorities on the evening of Friday, August 28th, about a half an hour drive away from her home. And I'm also going to show on the map from that Defiance Park to actually where her vehicle was found as well. Now, it was reported that the car was found abandoned underneath the overpass to Highway 705, and it also was reported that the keys were still in the vehicle. And detectives are asking businesses in the area to check their video cameras and their footage. And here's the location that the car was found. It's about a half an hour drive away from her home. Her mother said that she would never go to this location, like I mentioned. Her mom says, what I hope, worst case scenario, is that maybe she was carjacked and she's just hurt somewhere. On Monday night, deputies served a search warrant at a Tacoma home in connection with her disappearance. And the FBI agents stepped in to help the investigators as they went through this South Tacoma house. And they were looking for hours, looking for evidence in the disappearance of Kassanndra Cantrell. Now, the home became the focus of the investigation after the Pierce County Sheriff's Detective obtained information about a man being called a person of interest. They believe have the answers that they are looking for. And the more I research, it actually was her ex-boyfriend, is from my understanding. But this boyfriend has a girlfriend. And back to the Pierce County Sheriff's spokesperson, Detective Ed Troyer. He says, at this point, we do have a person that we want to either eliminate and clear or name him as a suspect. We are working this case as if it's a homicide until something tells us differently. I find this very, very interesting, their wording, compared to what we see in other cases. Now, the search began late Monday night, as I mentioned, when a SWAT team used flashbang grenades before entering the house. And a neighbor, his name is Ron James, he says, the first bang I thought was a car. The second bang, I heard people trying to tell him to come out of the residence. And this neighbor says he rarely saw the man living at home, but he says he has seen Kassanndra there. He says just once, only once, I guess you never know. And it didn't actually describe when he saw her, just that he had seen her once before. And I did see a website that it was an au pair site. She was looking for work, and it said that her last login was actually August 18th. She was looking for like a nanny position. What I did find interesting that piqued my interest was that it said she was willing to actually travel anywhere in the world to do this. Found that interesting, especially because she's 3 months pregnant. It wasn't anything too deep. I just kind of thought, that's interesting because I do know she's pregnant. Now, here is what her mom says. She had an update and said Kassanndra was last seen leaving the neighborhood, car caught on a doorbell cam at 8:30 a.m. This is unusual for her. She had plans to grocery shop, but getting up at 7:30 or so is not something she'd do for a simple trip to the grocery store. Either she'd made plans I didn't know about to meet someone, or someone emailed her to meet them, but it would have had to be someone she knew. She had zero phone and text activity leading up to her disappearance, which means it wasn't a spontaneous contact that way. Now, what's also interesting in this post that I saw was that the phone has been dead or off, which we mentioned. She's left her dogs and all belongings and a missed prenatal care appointment, which we knew. And then it said she mentioned being threatened online. I haven't quite dug into that yet. Let me know what you know in the comments below. I would appreciate it. Now, if you have any information, you see something, no matter how tiny, can you please phone the number? I'll give you that in the description or possibly across the screen if I have it. And please call, because something so small can mean something so big. And I just want to also say, months ago that I did a Heidi Broussard case. She was the woman who had a baby, and a newborn really, and her best friend ended up being charged for murder. And thankfully, Heidi's baby was okay, but her best friend actually faked her own pregnancy so that she could be pregnant at the same time as her best friend Heidi. And it ended up being not a great outcome at all for Heidi. But what I wanted to bring up was the interesting facts about how it's actually, you're higher at risk when you're pregnant to be murdered, as in your chances go higher. Just thought it was very interesting, but I can understand, it's a time where everything's changing. Maybe spouses are being upset. From the sounds of it, they weren't in a relationship, from my understanding. Some people are calling the father a ex-boyfriend, and some are calling him actually a friend who happens to have a girlfriend. But from the sounds of it, there's something going on there. I just have to dig a little bit more. And also, I find curious, where they were actually searching at this guy's house is pretty close, I want to say fairly close, to the proximity of where the car was found. So stay tuned for updates. I'm trying to get as much as possible, as fast as possible. Let's have a chat in the comments below. Let me know what you know, and we'll do a little catch up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like and please share. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.